Amen. As we continue along through the Gospel of Luke, we come to Luke 13, 10 through 13. And as I mentioned yesterday, this part of the Gospel of Luke is vacillating back and forth with Jesus' teachings, him showing who he is by miracles, and really both together, with the point that there is a point. It's not just a healing, not just a teaching, but the point is to create faith and to glorify God. And that's what we see going on in our text for today. So Luke 13, verse 10. Now, he was teaching in one of the synagogues on the Sabbath. Now, just kind of to start there of what's going on. So this was a normal thing Jesus continually did throughout his ministry. He went to the synagogues, and he went there regularly on the Sabbath, and there he taught. And there he was part of the worship service. And this is continuously throughout his ministry, as long as he was able to, due to the crowds. Always in the synagogue. Growing up, always his parents brought him down to the festivals, to the Passover, to the time down there in Jerusalem for the sacrifices. Days old, Mary brought him to the temple. Regularly throughout his life, Jesus was in the places of worship, talking, questioning, teaching, in all of what he did. This was a normal thing. Where was he to be found on the Sabbath? In worship. Where should we be found when it is time for us to worship? Together, in worship. So verse 11. Now, as he was there, as he was teaching in the synagogue, and it was the Sabbath, that'll be a big point tomorrow when we get to it being on the Sabbath, because there were those that were upset that he was doing this work on the Sabbath to heal people. So verse 11, and there was a woman who had a disabling spirit for 18 years. She was bent over, could not fully straighten herself. Now, this is a fairly unique case as it's being brought forward, and as it's brought forward, he's very much saying, okay, now this is an unclean spirit. That does not mean everybody who is bent over and stuff has an unclean spirit. There are many physical things that happen as we get older that can be very harsh. This specific case, she was bent over for 18 years due to an unclean spirit. And so it's very clear what is the cause here. It's not scoliosis or something else of that nature. The cause here is an unclean spirit. So it's not diminishing or saying that anybody that has those issues, they're possessed. No, that is not what's going on. In this case, though, it is what's going on. And for those that have many of those other things going on physically, may the Lord watch over and bless them. But here, she has an unclean spirit, and the one that it's doing is causing her to be crippled. So the next verse. So she was bent over, could not fully straighten herself. She was completely hunched over. When Jesus saw her, he called her over and said to her, "Woman, you are freed from your disability." So he calls her over. He knows what's the cause of it here. It is this unclean spirit. So as she comes over, he does it, and he frees her from this. Now, can you just imagine I can't imagine the pain or the emotional impact of having been punched over for 18 years, and all of a sudden you're straight and you can look and you can see and there's no pain. I can't imagine how incredible that would be. And what did Jesus do? He laid his hands on her, and immediately she was made straight. And then here's the key. And she glorified God. God came over, or Jesus came over to her. Jesus says God. Jesus came over to her, laid his hands on her, said, "You are healed." He cast out the unclean spirit. She was immediately healed. Praise be to the Lord. And her first reaction was the absolute right reaction. Glorified God. with an incredible thing like this. So easy to be focused on the blessing that she had. She did the right thing, gave blessing to the one who had blessed her. May we watch over our life and bless the one who has blessed us so much. In his holy name, amen.